body in your mind, or is the mind in your body? In the materialistic worldview, the mind is in the body. You must have heard of Freud's theory of the unconscious. Many people thought that the brain has two compartments, the conscious part and the unconscious part. So according to this materialistic worldview, when the body dies, the brain also dies, and therefore the conscious mind and the unconscious mind also die. Now the problem with the materialistic worldview is that the brain is a machine. Any thought is a neurochemical process. So using thought, you cannot say anything definite about the ultimate truth, because what you can conceive only what the brain as a machine produces, a neurochemical process. So there is no scope for any value or any real meaning, because everything is just a neurochemical process. Now the alternative worldview is that the body is in the mind. Consciousness is the reality, and time and space are in consciousness, and the body is also in consciousness. The brain is an apparatus for eliciting memory. A good analogy is that of the television set. The program is not really within the television set. A child or a dog may think that the television programs are in the set, but we know that programs are outside. The television set only receives the signals and creates the image on the screen. Similarly, the brain accesses memories through the principle of harmonic resonance. If you want to remember what you ate for breakfast today, you tune your mind to your state in the morning, and then by resonance you get the information from a psychological field of memories, which is somewhere in a psychological universe or a universe of memories. According to this point of view or this worldview, even when the body is no more, when the brain no longer works, still the memories are there in the psychological universe. So we can even discuss the possibility of life after death only if you accept the worldview that consciousness is the ultimate reality. Now, is there any evidence for life after death? Parapsychologists say that there are different kinds of evidence like mediumship, possession, apparitions, near-death experience, out-of-the-body experience, reincarnation studies, and so on and so forth. You imagine a river starting from the mountain as a trickle, the river of consciousness. It is flowing through time. And then in its flow, eddies form, small whirlpools. Each individual is a small eddy or a whirlpool. Each eddy is different from every other eddy. and the flow ends in the sea, in the stillness of the depths of the ocean, which is pure consciousness without content or without movement, beyond space and time. Now imagine that two eddies are identical. Then there is a connection between the two. There's an automatic connection. By harmonic resonance, there is shared experience, shared memory, and so on. When one eddy ends in the flow, if there is any momentum remaining, it may find expression in other eddies. Eddies may combine, eddies may separate. And this is probably what happens when we die. If there is any momentum left in our mind, it may find expression through several persons to be born in the future. The momentum of one person may combine with the momentum of several others and find combined expressions in different persons. This theory can explain many of the observed phenomena, like past life memories or reincarnation memories. Suppose I am sitting here and thinking who I was in my previous birth. My illusion is that I am a closed system. Being a particular person is highly pleasurable. So I like to hold on to the belief that I am something eternal. And that I have lived through time. I am going to live again. So I sit here and think who I was in my past birth. If there was somebody who lived in the past with a self-like mind, similar identifications, similar attachments, similar set of memories, similar habits, and so on. So through harmonic resonance, I am able to access that person's memory. And I may like to believe that I was that person in my previous birth. Another day I am again thinking who I was in my previous birth. This time my mental set may be slightly different. I may access the memories of another person who lived during the same time. Let us say the first person lived in the 15th century. In the same century, there would have been another person, and they may have lived in the same time. But owing to a difference in my mentality, when I was trying to access the memory of my previous birth, I may access the memory of the second person the second time. The first person and the second person may have lived at the same time. So what I am trying to say is that an individual is not a closed system. I may have a certain desire. The desire may not be mine at all. It may be the desire of another person who has a very similar self like mine. And I may be influencing the behavior of other persons who have a similar mind like mine. So the point I am trying to raise is that our illusion of uniqueness may be an illusion. My experience of self may be just a center of certain vibrations. So myself is actually a collection of vibrations. And these vibrations carry a certain degree of energy or momentum in its flow through time. So the energies, if they are not properly worked out, may continue even after the death of the physical body. And these energies may find expression through different individuals at different points of time. So therefore, our strong attachment to our limited self may make us think that our self endures through time. But what endures may be consciousness, which is at our base, and not the vibrations or colorations which appear in consciousness as a particular person with a particular set of characteristics. So the question of life after death can be answered by both yes and no. The root reality, which is consciousness, is outside time, and therefore it is not destroyed in time. But the particular self undergoes changes all the time. Every second we are dying and getting reborn. And our characteristics are changing through every experience. According to the principle of action and reaction are equal and opposite. Whatever we do or experience causes a change in ourselves. And therefore, we are continuously dying. But what endures is consciousness.